When I was taking inventory, okay, I just cannot. Okay. Don't like my hair, Shani, but I'm just gonna have to suffer through it. Okay. Okay, fine. It's fine. Hi, everyone. Hey, you. I'm talking to you. It's me, your friend, Lauren. Hi. This week, I'm going to be doing something new, exciting, innovative, not so much the last one. A lot of people do this. I am doing a review and sharing, shall we say, of all my favorite brushes. Now, when I was taking inventory of my favorite brushes, I realized there was a theme, and that theme is Smith Cosmetics and Real Techniques. We got high-end, we got drugstore. So if you have been wondering what kind of brushes I use, or if you have been wondering if you should invest in some Smith Cosmetics brushes, spoiler alert, yes. You should. If you've been wondering any of these things, then you should just keep right on watching there. Okay, I guess I'll start with probably my favorite face brush ever. This is the Real Techniques blush brush. I love her dearly. This is a synthetic brush. As you can tell, it's super fluffy, and if you could feel this, you'd know how soft it was. It comes to a slight taper. So for me, that is absolutely perfect. That is ideal for blush, contour, bronzer. My favorite way to use this brush is to bronze up the hollows of my cheek, my cheekbones, my hairline, and then I like to take this exact same brush to use my blush because I feel that the two blend very nicely together on my brush and then makes them blend out easier on the face. So next up is the Real Techniques setting brush. I use this to set my face. I think it is the perfect shape to set my concealer under my eyes. I'm in love with it. And like the blush brush, this is synthetic fibers, no natural hairs, and it is so unbelievably soft. I love this to set my face, and the other one that I have, and it's very important that I use them separately, is for highlighter. Now you can see, this one is the one I use for setting my face. So you can see it's slightly larger, it's more diffused, and this is the one that I use for highlighter. Because of that sort of point that it comes to, I can highlight with extreme precision. This for me has just enough surface area to get a lot of product on my face without me having to spend 2 hours highlighting, but it also has that precise tapered point so that I have a lot of control over placement. Okie dokie. Next is a Smith Cosmetics brush, the 112. This is my contour brush. This is my one and only. You still have all that hair that you want, but it's much fluffier and more flexible, so I can get right into the hollow of my cheekbone, but also I can blend it out and upwards like I would with an eyeshadow blending brush. You want volume, you want density, but you also want that fluffiness and flexibility to be able to blend. The last face tool I am talking about today is the Beauty Blender. Nothing compares to this one for me. This is the Beauty Blusher. So this classic Beauty Blender is a little bit bigger, and then they have the mini ones that are just ever so slightly too small for me. This is it wet. So this is it as its biggest size. It has, of course, the pointed tip, so I can get right in there. This is a ride or die for me. I've tried the Real Technique sponges, and I do like the bigger ones, but again, their smaller ones are the same size as the mini beauty blenders, which are just too small for what I need them for. Real Techniques come out with a medium-sized sponge like this one, and I'll buy it. So those are my top face brushes and sponges. Moving right along to eyes. This is by Color Du Jour. She's an Instagram makeup artist and beauty guru, and she has her own line of brushes. This is a big flat shader brush, and it is ideal to set my lids. I use this with a matte eyeshadow very close to my own skin color, just to set the whole eye before I start putting transition and crease shades down so that everything blends easier, and this is perfect. Probably my favorite eyeshadow brush, maybe even favorite brush of all time is the Smith 232. You guys, I'm really sorry all my brushes are dirty. You're just gonna have to look at dirty brushes and like it. I love this brush. I absolutely use it every single time for my transition shades, even to lay down a very neutral shade instead of using the shader brush if I don't have it. I use this for so many things. It is my ride or die blending brush, the Smith 232. Second favorite eyeshadow brush is the Smith 235. All of the Smith brushes are natural hair by the way. Like the 232, it's a blending brush. It's slightly narrower, whereas the 232 is the same volume all the way around. And the 235 sort of comes to a bit of a point. It's tough to see. This I use for crease shades. So I will go in with my absolute darkest crease shade with the 235, get right in that socket. It is a miracle worker because it has the volume and blendability, but also the tapered point. I'm obsessed with it. These are my absolute favorite blending brushes. I will never go without them. Next are these really cool brushes from Smith Cosmetics. They are the 256 and 253. They are almost identical except for one is bigger than the other one. They are called arrowhead brushes because they're pretty flat and they come to a complete point, as pointed as you can get. They are the best lid brushes I've ever used because it has such a big surface area. You can just get so much product all over it, pack it all over your lid, and then put it right in the inner and outer corners without messing everything up, without getting your lid color onto your crease or your upper lid. Honestly, if I'm trying to have a really precise cut crease or just a lid shade that's a lot different than my crease and transition shades, then these types of brushes are the only ones that I use because they can pack on all the product, all the pigment that I want on my eyes, and I can get the precision of my inner and outer corners without switching to another brush. Revolutionary. Okie dokie. This is the Smith 220. This is their blending brush. That's what they call it. And when you're looking at this, you're probably like, what the hell are they talking about? Have they ever seen a blending brush in their lives? Or at least that's what I thought the first time I read it. Turns out they know what they're doing because you can totally blend with this brush. Primarily, I use it to blow out my lower lash line. When I'm recreating whatever I do in my crease on my lower lash line, I take the lightest transition shade first and just blow it all the way out. And then if I want more precision and a little bit of definition and dimension, I will just take the edge, run it along a darker shade, and put that really close to my lash line, and it just gives the most wonderful effect. The last Smith brush I will speak of today is the Smith 212. This is the tiniest little liner brush. I love it so much. This is so perfect for using with gel liner on your upper or lower lash line, but particularly to disguise fake eyelash bands. If I'm not wearing crazy liquid liner, but putting lashes on, you still need to disguise the band or at least connect where the band ends to your inner corner or outer corner, depending on how long it is, and this is the only brush I use to do that. Next up are the MAC brushes, of which I have 3. My first and favorite MAC brush, this is the 239. This is a natural hair brush, and it is a flat shader or packing brush, however you want to explain it. I'm so sorry, again, it's dirty. If you want pigment, if you want metallic, if you're using an eyeshadow shade, a lid shade that you would want to maybe spray your brush beforehand to make it like that much more amazing, this is the brush. This is the brush that I use for halo eyes when I really want that intense pigment right on the center of my lid, or if I'm using a crazy metallic or glittery eyeshadow, I wet this brush and it never lets me down. Next up from MAC is the 242. This is a synthetic brush and it's amazing. Again, this is a packer brush, I guess I would call this. It's really, really thin on the side. So this is what it looks like from the front. From the side, it just disappears. And again, it has a dome top. Cut creases, this is all you'll ever need. For concealer or for eyeshadows when you're doing a cut crease, it really gets into that inner corner and right into your crease perfectly if you want a really defined lid shade. Also, this brush takes water and glitter / metallic shadows really well. Another great one for packing on metallic pigments. The last MAC brush is the 219. This is a very thin pencil brush, and this is what I will use under my eyes to deepen up and define my lower lash line with darker shades. Perfect for adding definition to your lower lash line. And last but certainly not least, I don't think this has a name on it. Sorry that I don't know the name of it. It is Sephora brand. It has this like sort of gunmetal metallic handle. Sorry, that's all I can give you. This is the coolest pencil brush. I've never come across anything like it. It's really fluffy, and you think like pencil brush, that doesn't really work. Fluffy, like it's not particularly tapered. It has a dome top, but it's so good for blowing out your lower lash line and making it extra smoky. And I think that completes this video, you guys. I don't love that I use so many natural hair brushes. I wish I used exclusively synthetic brushes. So if you guys have recommendations for really amazing synthetic eyeshadow brushes or just synthetic brush brands in general, please link them below. Also, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so right now and follow me on Instagram at laurenmarienyc. We'll see you guys next week.